Hi, my name is George Rogers. I want to tell you about my experience with Dr. Naram. Prior to meeting Dr. Naram, I had 4 doctors and I had about 12 different medications, and I was feeling pretty miserable. I also have sleep apnea, so I was on a VPAP machine and fighting with that every night and waking up exhausted in the mornings. And so I pretty much was in a situation where I was exhausted most of the time, had a considerable amount of pain in my stomach and chest, um, and actually even went into the hospital to see if I was having heart attacks. Of course I wasn't, but at any rate, there was a lot of stuff going on, and my legs were weak. I had trouble walking. I felt rubbery in my legs and really sluggish and really struggling. And so, at any rate, I met Dr. Naram. I had no idea what pulse reading was, but it was kind of fun. He put his fingers on my wrist and started telling me all the things that were happening to me. I've been trying to figure out how to explain what was going on. I mean, how do you explain 4 doctors and all the things they're saying? And so, at any rate, he put his fingers on my pulse and began telling me what was wrong. And I was so impressed because he summarized it in a few sentences much better than I could have ever told him. And I explained to him that there were a couple doctors in the past that said they couldn't help me. And he says, well, I can help you. Let me help you. So I said, okay. And so I have let him help me. I've been taking his herbs and on the diet as best as I can. And I actually went to the Panchakarma program in India, where they took me through the cleansing process that Panchakarma offers. And pretty remarkable, in a short period of time, I actually am off of all my medications except one. And I'm working my way off of it, which is prednisone. And anyone who knows anything about it knows that it's a very difficult medication to get off of. But at any rate, that's good. My chest pains and my stomach pains are gone. I feel strength in my legs, and I can walk pretty much where I want and do what I want. And actually, I'm off my I'm off of my VPAP machine now too. I don't have to take the sleep medications, and I don't hook myself up to that machine at night. And I sleep better than I was sleeping with all those gear, with all that stuff on me. And that's much better. I was on diabetes medication, metformin. I don't take that anymore. I'm able to control it completely by diet. Of course, mung bean soup doesn't do much to offend the blood sugar, but I eat a lot of other things and have a pretty good diet. It's a little more restrictive than I had before, but no metformin, and my blood sugar is really pretty good right now. My high marks are around 135, and every once in a while it shoots up a little over that, but generally I'm really right down there. And because I had a couple stents, I was on blood pressure medications, which the doctors never bothered to tell me that since I don't have blood pressure problems, I could actually quit. So I decided I can quit. And so I talked to him and said, do I have any reason to be taking this anymore? And he says, no. So I don't have to take that anymore. I've quit taking the stomach medications I was taking, which didn't seem to help all that much, but I don't have a need for them anymore. And again, I'm not taking Lunesta, which I was very glad to get off of. And then there's some other medications. There was another arthritis medication called meloxicam that I'm not taking anymore. And trying to think, there's a couple other ones. But at any rate, it's been good. Life is a lot easier without having to worry about those medications, and certainly a lot cheaper. So that's kind of my story. I consider myself at the beginning of the process, certainly not the end. But I'm very grateful for all that Dr. Naram's made possible for me. Well, I guess I'd just say be open. Frankly, I was very skeptical. Had I not had a very credible introduction to Dr. Naram, I probably never would have gone to see him. But he's real, and he's kind, and he's good, and he's fun, and I've very much enjoyed my experience with him. Just go with an open mind and be willing to take the journey and follow his instructions for a while and see if it doesn't help you. I can be pretty sure that you'll find some progress in your affairs, in your health, if you give him some opportunity to help you. Certainly that's happened in my case, and I've witnessed it in several other people. When I was in India, it was pretty remarkable. I saw some instances where he helped some people with multiple sclerosis, for example, who had never walked before or hadn't walked for some years without help and without either a cane or some help. It had to be assisted. And I saw them take their first steps, walk 20 steps each of them, a little over 20 steps. And Dr. Naram said to him, he said, "Now, who did that?" And he made them acknowledge that they had done it. He says, "Okay, today you've walked 20 steps. Tomorrow you can walk 22. And he gave them the encouragement. And after that, I saw them walking around quite a bit in the program at various places. They weren't perfect yet. They weren't wholly well yet, but they were on their way, and they had the confidence that they could get where they wanted to be over a period of time. I still have some things I'm working through. It's a process. The Panchakarma gave me a quick start, but it's a process that takes place over time, but I feel steady progress taking place, and I'm really hopeful here that I'll be 30 years old again.